Elon Musk just did the unthinkable. He threatened to end all United States government contracts, and then quietly rewired his empire to work around Washington. Just imagine it. A single billionaire, running companies that control the future of energy, satellites, and artificial intelligence, suddenly declaring that he's done playing by Washington's rules. On June 5, 2025, Musk publicly lashed out, just 3 days after Tesla's stock had plunged 14.3%, wiping out a staggering $150 billion in market value. That's honestly more than the GDP of some countries lost in a matter of days. And yet the headlines only tell half the story. While Congress and the Pentagon scrambled, Musk reportedly signed a secret deal with BRICS nations, quietly shifting billions of dollars in advanced technology outside United States control. No press conferences, no flashy tweets, just a methodical behind-the-scenes maneuver that left Washington reeling. This isn't just a billionaire throwing a tantrum, it's a question that changes everything. If the man who controls the future of energy, communication, and AI no longer reports to Washington, who does he report to? To understand whether this was a rash outburst or a calculated strategy, we need to rewind and look for a pattern in his moves. June 5th was the loud moment, the fireworks. But the quiet work started months earlier, almost like a chess player setting up the board while everyone else is distracted by the noise. Just weeks before that public outburst on May 14, 2025, Musk testified before Congress. He didn't hold back. If the United States punishes innovation, he said, I'll take innovation to the countries that still believe in it. That wasn't a threat. It was a blueprint for what was about to happen. Behind the headlines, a subtle but systematic disentanglement was already underway. Tesla quietly withdrew from United States-funded electric vehicle programs. SpaceX ended collaborations with the Pentagon. And Starlink, the satellite internet giant, pulled out of defense-related evaluations. All of it happened with barely a whisper. No press conferences, no viral tweets, just deliberate, methodical exits. As one insider put it, this was the final stage in a methodical exit strategy. Quiet, deliberate exits. Think of it like a massive ship slowly changing course, while the crew thinks it's still heading straight. By the time the public noticed, Musk's companies had already begun charting a path that sidestepped United States oversight entirely. If this is strategy, then where is Musk moving his assets next? Let's start with satellites. Starlink used to sit firmly in America's camp. It was part of the United States Defense Network, supporting military communications, disaster relief, and emergency connectivity. But by 2025, that allegiance was shifting, quietly but dramatically. Reports show that the Pentagon's request to override Starlink for defense missions was denied. SpaceX was removed from 3 major United States satellite programs worth over $4 billion, and other contractors like Lockheed Martin and Boeing stepped in. Meanwhile, BRICS nations weren't waiting. India, Brazil, and South Africa welcomed Starlink with open arms, rolling out national networks and even integrating it into emergency infrastructure projects. One senior analyst noted, Starlink isn't quitting the defense business, it's just switching allegiances. The stakes are huge. Satellites like Starlink aren't just about internet access, they're part of national communications lifelines. In a crisis, who has control? Who flips the switch if needed? For the first time, the answer might not be a government at all. Picture a lifeboat in a storm. Previously, the United States held the oars. Now Musk holds them, and he's choosing where to row. While Starlink charts new territories, Tesla is quietly reshaping the very foundation of its business. Let's look at that next. Tesla didn't just step back from Washington, it built a parallel world. While the United States government debated tariffs and oversight, Musk was quietly reshaping Tesla's operations to run independently. Concrete moves illustrate the scale of this shift. Tesla pulled out of federally supported EV corridors and clean energy grants, and instead inked a $2.3 billion infrastructure deal in Brazil. This wasn't just a factory or a research lab. It included a nationwide EV charging network and battery R&D centers, all outside United States jurisdiction. Supply chains followed the same logic. Components were rerouted through South Africa and Malaysia, bypassing United States trade restrictions. Bloomberg Intelligence reported that these moves reduced Tesla's exposure to the United States market by 38% in just one quarter. The strategy is clear: build a firewall against unpredictable United States policies. Musk is creating a self-sufficient ecosystem that can operate globally, independent of government incentives or oversight. It's like planting a new city in secret while the old one still thinks you're at home. And if Tesla's AI is now embedded overseas, it's more than just business. It's infrastructure. That brings us to China. In Guangdong, China, a quiet approval flipped a switch that most people didn't even notice. Tesla's AI, originally designed to optimize vehicle fleets, was now managing parts of the energy grid. The system, known as Autobidder AI, was rebranded as a commercial energy platform to bypass United States export controls, a loophole that allowed American technology to power one of the world's most energy-intensive regions. This isn't a small software upgrade. Tesla's AI is actively balancing electricity distribution, ensuring factories and industrial zones receive power efficiently. In effect, it gives Musk's technology a level of influence over China's energy stability that few governments could imagine. United States regulators have taken notice. The Treasury Department launched a compliance review, and experts are raising serious questions about sovereignty. One key point stands out. Even if the AI is legal under export rules, who is responsible if the grid hiccups or a blackout occurs? In other words, a private company now has a hand in critical national infrastructure halfway across the globe. Think of it like giving someone a remote control to a city's lights and factories, and trusting that they'll use it responsibly. With critical tech moving abroad, Washington finally starts to wake up, but its options are limited. Washington's reaction was slow, but unmistakable. Investigations, removals, and a forced distancing from Musk's companies. The Treasury Department quietly launched a review to determine whether Tesla's AI platforms, now embedded in foreign grids, should be classified as dual-use technology under United States export laws. Meanwhile, Musk's companies were removed from high-profile federal advisory groups. Tesla was dropped from the Federal EV Infrastructure Forum, and xAI was excluded from the National AI Strategy Group, replaced by Amazon, Microsoft, and Anthropic. One insider admitted, "We didn't lose Elon. We just made it too expensive for him to stay." The tension is clear. Government tools, contracts, oversight, and export controls clash with the reality that Musk's technology is in high demand globally. Even as Washington scrambles to regain influence, the United States finds itself dependent on a company that no longer answers to it. It's a tug-of-war where one side holds all the critical levers while the other tries to catch up. Think of it like a giant chessboard. Musk has quietly moved his most powerful pieces into position, and now Washington is reacting several moves too late. That dependence isn't just inconvenient, it's making allies nervous and revealing just how much power Musk now holds. Allies are nervous, but they're also stuck. Starlink has become essential infrastructure in multiple countries, and even though Musk's unilateral decisions raise alarms, there's no better alternative. Germany, Japan, and Australia have all launched formal reviews of their dependence on Starlink. Germany's regulators are concerned the system might ignore NATO's emergency protocols. Japan delayed approvals for a national rollout, worried about who would manage Starlink in a crisis. Australia flagged Musk's shutdowns near politically sensitive regions like Gaza and Crimea. In all cases, the problem is clear reliance on a privately owned network gives enormous power to one individual. Yet, despite the risks, no country has pulled the plug. Why? Starlink offers faster speeds, broader coverage, and more reliable service than legacy networks. In many remote or conflict-prone regions, it's literally the only viable option. Countries may question Musk's loyalty, but they also need his technology. This is more than business, it's geopolitical. While United States influence wanes, BRICS nations actively invite Musk's participation, giving him leverage that no single government can match. It's a global custody battle over critical technology, and the stakes are nothing less than control over communications, energy, and AI infrastructure. So where does that leave us? And who's really in charge of the technologies shaping our world? That brings us to the final section. Has the United States lost its most important technologist? Or has the world been shown a new blueprint for tech geopolitics? What we've seen isn't just rebellion or market volatility. It's a calculated shift, disentangling from United States oversight, embedding critical tech in foreign infrastructure, and striking global deals that bypass traditional regulatory controls. Musk's companies are no longer tethered to Washington. Tesla's AI powers parts of China's grid, Starlink connects India, Brazil, and South Africa, and supply chains now flow through South Africa and Malaysia, outside United States reach. Two futures are possible. One, a decentralized, multipolar tech order where private titans choose partners and shape the infrastructure of nations. Two, a global backlash with stricter controls, fragmented markets, and rival ecosystems racing to fill gaps. Both futures affect national security, economic power, and everyday life, from who controls energy and communications to who decides what happens in a crisis. Here's the question for you. Which future do you think we're headed toward? A new global blueprint or a catastrophic decoupling? Tell us in the comments. And if this video made you think, give it a like, hit subscribe, and check out our next story on how governments might realistically respond. We didn't just watch a billionaire walk away from Washington. We watched the map of global tech power redraw itself. That matters to all of us.